Public. That means what? Hmm. Not within the organization. Hmm. That will be Apex programming. Come out from Apex programming. Hmm. To access two modules means. Hmm. If I'm defining a property as at the rate API decorator, this property can be accessible up to what level? Only within the component or outside of the component also? Outside of the component also. Okay. Now, so API decorated properties and functions are purely public. These are public properties and the public functions. So these properties and the functions can be accessible within the component also, from other components also, within the entire lighting application here. Okay, so in order to make your JavaScript properties and the functions to be exposed to that other components in the application, we are using the help of at the rate API decorator. Okay, at the rate API decorator is used to make the component properties can be accessible from other components. Because so that we can provide the communication between the two components over here, because it's 100% common question in every interview, how to provide the communication between the two components in Lightning Web Component framework. In that case, one way here, do we have two ways are available basically. First one here, how to pass the data from parent to child. How to pass the data from child to parent over here. If you want to pass the data from parent to child, we can use this API decorator over here. If you want to pass the data from child to parent, then we have to go for custom events. By using custom events, we can able to pass the data from child to parent. Parent to child, we can do with the help of API decorator. That means making it as public. And then from child to parent, we can pass the data from by using the help of custom events. Okay. Now, these two are very, very important over here. Now, in that case here, these two components are related. One is parent, second one is child. Suppose both the components are independent here. In that case, we are using one more approach that is called as a pub sub model. Okay, pub sub model here. Publisher subscriber model over here. That is called as pub sub model. How to implement that we will see also here. Okay, if both are having relation like as parent and child, then how to pass from parent to child, child to parent will see. If both are not parent and child, both are independent, in that case we can use the help of publisher subscriber model, that is called as pub sub model in Lightning Web Component framework. How to implement all those things we'll see practically over there. Okay, now API decorated properties here. Let's see. Now at the rate API decorator will make the JavaScript properties and functions are public. That is, at the rate API decorated properties and functions can be accessible within the component and from other components also inside the Lightning application. Inside the Lightning application. Prerequisite. Well, using at the rate API decorator, then we have to import the API namespace inside the JavaScript file. Inside the JavaScript file by using import statement. For example, import lightning element API from LWC. Syntax. At the rate API property name equals to value. At the rate API, the JavaScript function name. Here we can write the business logic. For example, I'm indicating this. Import lightning element comma API from LWC. Export a default class sample component extends lightning element. We can define at the rate API product code. I'm assigning some value at the rate API product name some smartphone. At the rate API now get all lead records. If you are using both a track decorated properties and API decorated properties both within a single component, then we have to use both lightning element comma track comma API. Multiple okay namespaces we can import by using single import statement over there. Example here. How can we define API decorated property, track decorated property, and a general property here without any decorator? Then what will be the level of access of each and every property? We'll see one by one. Now for this one, what I want to do is, I want to define two lighting web components. Okay, I want to define two lighting web components. In the first lighting web component, that means I want to create a child component. In this child component, I will define three properties: track decorated, API decorated, general property. Three properties here. General property means without any decorator, like this. Okay, like this. Track. Okay, I would like to check that here. Now, so if I'm not giving anything, then what will be the default one? We need to check it out. So I'm defining three properties. These three property values I would like to show on my lighting web component here. That is my requirement. Then I will create a parent component. From parent component, I want to pass a value for these properties. If I'm passing the value from parent component to these properties, will it be acceptable or not? I would like to check. Because we know that here API decorated properties are accessible from outside, from other components also. Track decorated general properties can't be accessible. Now let me show you with the practical use case. How can we do that? Let me show you. Let me create a component here. I'm creating a child component. Child properties component here. I'm creating a lighting web component with the name child properties component. Now, so now here in this component, I'm preparing the properties at the rate track customer code equals to, I would like to specify the value 344999001 at the rate API customer name. I'm giving the value some ready labs. I'm defining the contact numbers or some email address, general property. Now I would like to specify now contact at the rate sumdel.com. These are the three properties. When we try to save this code, it won't allow because we need to import the corresponding namespaces inside your Lighting Web component in the JavaScript file by using import statement. Now we have to use this. I'm accessing the track API, both. Okay. Now let's see. Now here we have used both the track decorator namespace and the API namespace. Both we have imported into our import statement inside the JavaScript file by using that import statement here. Now, these property values I would like to show on my Lighting Web component. So I'm going to the template file. In this template file, I would like to represent. I'm using the div tag. Here I would like to use lightning card. Lightning card. I'm indicating icon name equals to standard account. I would like to indicate the title track decorated property. I want to represent the value here. Okay, I want to represent the value. Now I would like to specify here track decorated property value. I would like to represent the property value. What is the property name here? Customer code. And that to this content I would like to show in bold format. Okay. I'm preparing a lighting card component. Inside the card, I'm going to be representing this value, track decorated property value here. I'm creating one more lighting card. Lighting card, icon name equals to standard lead. Title equals to API decorated property. I want to indicate this. I want to use that bold tag. I'm indicating this. Customer name. This is the second property. Next, I'm representing one more. Lighting card. Title equals to general property. Icon name equals to standard. I would like to specify contact. I'm indicating general property value. I'm indicating what is the property name, email address. Right. Okay, email address. So just now I have defined three properties. Those three property values I'm showing on my lighting web component through lighting card component. So just I'm defining properties, I'm displaying the values. That's it. Now, let me access this component inside my application now. Then how it is working, let me show you first. Then I will show you how to pass the value for this component properties from parent component observed. I'm going to the developer console. I'm giving that component a name as, what is the component name? Child properties component. Child properties component. I'm invoking the property directly here. I'm invoking this component. Let's see the results. Now it is indicating this is a track decorated property here. What is the value? The value will be visible. API decorated property here. There is a value ready labs. General property value, the value will be visible. That means just I have defined three properties. So those three property values I'm showing on my component. Component is same. That's what we are able to access all the three. Okay. Now if I'm accessing this component from other component, observe what will happen here. Now let's see. I'm creating one more component here. Parent properties component. Parent properties component. Now let's go to your template file. In this template file, I would like to call the child component. How to call the child component now? That will be an application. Ah, no. How? How to call child component from parent component? That means one component from another component. Already we have discussed. Not require the tables.
Using API decorator.
C hyphen. Right. Now, whatever the child component property, child component name is available, that child component name we can access here. What is the component name? We need to specify C hyphen. What is the component name? Child properties component. So we have to specify child properties component. Okay. Child properties component here. Now we are going to be calling this a child properties component. This is the another component here. We are calling from this parent. This is a parent. This is a child. That already told you how to create a single component, how to call one component into another component, how to call multiple components from an application. All the scenarios I showed you practically. Now I'm calling this component here child properties component from parent properties component here. Now, whenever I'm going to be invoking this component, if I'm passing the value for the properties, in the child component, what are the properties are available? We have customer code. I want to assign the value here. So we can specify customer hyphen code. Everything will be same like as kebab case format here. Now, in this child component properties component, we have a property called as a child customer code. This is a property we have defined here. Now for this property, I'm assigning some value. Like I want to specify the value 44558899. Next, customer name property. For this one, I'm assigning the value here. Like for example, now parent, I would like to indicate from parent component, we are assigning the value. Like for example, some Santosh Kumar. What is the general property name over here? Email address. Email address. I'm assigning the value. I'm giving the value over here. Now I want to specify parent. I want to indicate that email address value should be updated here. Like I'm indicating now hr@somedel.com. I'm saving this. That means here what I'm doing, I'm accessing the child component over here. Upon accessing the child component, in that component, there are some properties are available. For those properties, I'm assigning some new values over here. Now let's see what values will be applicable. Let's see that. Now, let me access this component from my application. Parent properties component. Let's execute. What happened in this case here? For whom the values has been assigned? I have assigned customer code value, new value, 44558899. Is the values has been assigned over here? No, it is showing that same old value over here. Why? This is a track decorated. That means this property can't be accessible from parent because that is restricted over here. That's what for this property we can't assign the value from outside. So that's what it is showing the same old value here. Second property is what? API decorated. What we have isn't actually Reddy Labs. But now what is the value we have? Parent Santosh Kumar. That means from the parent component, we have assigned some new value. This value has been assigned. That means we can assign the value for public properties from other component. Third one, general property. What is the actual value? Contact@del.com. Then later in the parent component, we have assigned some new value. Is this new value has assigned over here? No. That means what? General property also can't be accessible from outside because general properties are nothing but track decorated properties by default. Okay. This is an indication here that we can able to verify what properties can be accessible from outside, what properties can't be accessible. This is the way we can check it out. Okay, we have to create two components here, then only we can able to verify the functionalities whether this can be accessible from outside or not. There we are creating two classes here. In one class define the variables, create one more class, there we can access the variables here. Will it be accessible or not? We can check it out based on access specified. Here also we are using the two components. Clear? Understood the concept now? So, what are the properties that we have for this component with the API decorated? API decorated properties can be accessible from outside so that we can assign some new value. But for the remaining two, track decorated properties and the general properties can't be accessible from outside, so we can't assign some new value. Even though when you try to assign new value, It won't accept it all over here. That will hold only the old value which you have assigned. Okay, understood the concept now? Next. Because that is purely kebab case format. So we have to specify, don't use C colon. Component to component, we have to use C hyphen. Component to application, SQL. Message hyphen, okay, message is like as each and every word. Each and every word we need to segregate by using hyphen. That is the functionality of kebab case. Each and every word. Right, anything. Right. Hmm. Design. Right. It will accept as it is here. Okay. Now I'm indicating child component. Template file, JavaScript file. No, we have to give hyphens. Clear? Now, this is how we are going to passing the value hard coded. Then how to pass the value dynamically at runtime? Instead of hard coding these values here, we are hard coding the values here. The fixed values I'm passing. Instead of hard coding this value, how can we enter the value in text boxes? How to pass the value to child component? We'll see in tomorrow's session. Then we'll see how to invoke child component functions also from parent component. We'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see how can we invoke the child component functions from the parent component and then how to pass the values. Okay, we'll see with the practical concept. Thank you.